You know, sometimes people make mistakes, and then sometimes people say the quiet part out loud. Now, it's not up to me to forgive, but it sure is up to me to not forget.
We're giving them $3 billion with a B, $3 billion to be equity partners to make their communities more prosperous and wealthier and have services they've never had before. A lot of these communities, vast majority, are living on diesel throughout the winter. They don't even have roads. They don't get fresh fruit. So this is going to change their lives. And then on top of it, we're going to give them $70 million for training, similar like the Skills Development Fund, to train up their community. And then the last one is $10 million for scholarships. And wouldn't it be great if a young Indigenous person goes out and gets a free scholarship ride and becomes whatever, engineer, lawyer, doctor, whatever they decide to do. But this is like handing an opportunity on a silver platter to First Nations that by the way, I have treated like gold. And over again, the chiefs, national chiefs, the regional chiefs, other chiefs have told me we've never had more access to a premier ever, as long as they can remember. So, like I tell Rickford all the time, I should be the Minister of Indigenous Affairs because I get calls every single day. And when I first came into office, I told Minister Rickford, treat them all, give them what they need, whatever they want for them to prosper. But there's going to be a point that you can't just keep coming hat in hand all the time to the government. You got to be able to take care of yourselves. And when you literally have gold mines, nickel mines, every type of critical mineral that the world wants, and you're saying, no, I don't want to touch that. By the way, give me money. Not going to happen. It's simple. But we'll help them develop the mines.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, none of my business. I don't enjoy when people are talking about different groups and continuously refer to those groups as them. Them places the group over there, far away. Those people. But this is your reminder that Doug Ford feels like he treats First Nations like gold because he wants their gold and other critical minerals. And yes, as part of the bill, Indigenous groups are going to be given all this stuff because they don't even have roads. Like, we did that. We did that because we placed them over there. But don't pretend, Duggo, that your sole purpose is to provide all these resources to the groups that have been placed over there as a philanthropic gesture. You want the land, you want what's under the land, and yes, it could benefit everybody. Then you made the comment, and then you got shit for making the comment. This is what happens when politicians just riff off script. You said the quiet part out loud. They keep coming hat in hand. If only they would be self-sufficient. Right, Doug? If only they would help themselves out. If only they would give you whatever it is that you want. If only they would trust the government. Any government. Because that's always worked out so well for them in the past. And so after getting dinged, Dougie tries to save face.
A full house here. Well, first of all, I want to say I feel we had a very productive meeting. And Grand Chief, thank you so much for coming. And what I said when I went in there, and I'm sincere about this, when I go out, and yesterday, I get pretty passionate. And I just want to say I sincerely apologize for my words, not only if it hurt all the chiefs in that room, but all First Nations. Because we know that if we work together, and I said during the campaign, nothing moves without First Nations consultation, respecting duty to consult, and make sure that we work together. And I get passionate because I want prosperity for their communities. I want prosperity for their children and their grandchildren. And I also mentioned when I was in the meeting about when we work together, ourselves, be it the province, First Nations communities, and the federal government, we're unstoppable. And there's one person we need to stop, and it's Donald Trump. And I also always say the foundation of, be it healthcare, be it economic development, transportation, policing, within First Nations communities, starts with the economy. And there's no one that wants more to make sure everyone prospers than I do. And again, Grand Chief, I want to repeat it again. I sincerely apologize if I've offended anyone. I thought we had a phenomenal meeting, and there's a lot of work to do. We're going to continue to meet. I've been invited up to a lot of First Nations communities.
I'm going to stop you right there, Dougie. And this is a cautionary tale to everybody. If you've made a mistake, or if you get caught making a mistake, and you make your apology about you and not the people that you have offended, and then you go on to say, I apologize if I offended, that's not an apology. That's you saying what you think you need to say. I'm sorry that my words offended you. That's a you problem. You need to take ownership of the words you said. What I said was inappropriate. Not I get passionate and so my racism comes out. And I'm sorry that offended you. You take ownership of it. I was a dick. I perpetuated stereotype. Truth and reconciliation went out the window. I'm greedy and I want what you got, but as a consequence of wanting what you got, we'll give you something for it. The apology should have been, if one meant it. I realized that my words had impact. I apologize for using a generalized statement that is not true in trying to make my point by diminishing the importance of First Nations and using dog whistles to perpetuate racism. Now, again, it's not up to me to forgive Dougie, and whether the Chiefs forgave him because they actually forgive him or because they need to be able to have consultation, it's still not okay. This is where we say systemic racism exists. This is where, even though we have truth and reconciliation, we got a long way to go. Anyway, happy National Indigenous History Month, Canada. I know we all want prosperity for everybody, but we need to have cultural understanding. Maybe ask the question of why it's so important for First Nations to keep their land. Because historically, the whole if you give us this, we'll give you that hasn't worked out well. Treat them like gold.